Hello, everyone. Today you have a sub, and I got to take my mama to get her second vaccination in Del Mar. So, what you're doing today is we're starting physics, and you're going to do an activity called Moving Man. It's a PhET simulation, and then you're going to do an exit slip. I already have the exit slip in there. You can do it at any time, but you do need to come back to the meet so the substitute can take roll. Okay, write this in your agenda. You're turning in Moving Man today, and you're turning in the exit slip. All right. So the next time I see you will be Thursday. Remember, there's no meet Wednesday, but there is a checkpoint. Okay, forecast for the week is cold. Again, last week they said it'd be warming up by Friday, but not by much. Now, it looks like we might be able to start coming back at the end of this week. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. It's looking good for San Diego to be out of the purple tier and into the red tier for COVID cases. So maybe I'll see you Thursday. We want to be patient and just be cautiously optimistic. Hey, so I would have started with this in the chat box. How do all things move? And essentially, this is what physics is about, is how objects move. And objects move because of energy, and what energy gives objects is a force. And a force is a push or a pull. So objects cannot move unless a force acts on them. And they can't stop moving unless a force acts on them. And essentially what that is Newton's first law of inertia. So I'm sure you've heard that a million times, because every time you've watched Bill Nye, at the beginning, the theme song, the lady says, inertia is a property of matter. Well, that's what inertia is objects don't move or can't stop moving unless a force acts on them. And that's basically what physics is about how things move and why they move. But let's quickly talk about what you did last week, which is why sunsets are red and the sky is blue. Hopefully you saw the sunset. I think it was Friday, which was pretty darn amazing. And so what happens is you got the round Earth, you got the atmosphere, and usually the sun's up here, and it hits the atmosphere, and all light scatters except for blue, and that's why the sky is blue. But as the sun sets, really, remember the Earth's moving, but anyway, the sunset is down here, so as the light is hitting our atmosphere at a different angle. And so when it hits at that angle, it scatters all light except for reds and oranges. So that's why we get those amazing, beautiful sunsets. And like on Friday, there were more clouds, so the sunset was just incredible. It was really, really cool. So it's more medium to break up the light. Okay, Moving Man. So there's a link on Moving Man, and it's really important you read the directions carefully at first. And what you need to do is you're going to click on charts. And then when you click on charts, you see this on the left here. You have these 3 graphs. You don't want 3 graphs. You only want 1. And the graph you want to keep is the position and time graph. So you're going to click on the little red squares, and it gets rid of the velocity and acceleration graph. And then now you only have 1 graph, and that's what you want. So let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to share this slide now. And this is what you should look like, what your graph should look like. But when you begin, it's going to look like this. you're going to click on the red squares. So now you only have position and time. And then the instructions are going to say, just mess around with moving man. And so when you click and drag the man, the graph graphs his motion. So every move is graphed on the graph. So this graph is graphing his position, where he is, over time. So just mess around with them. You can make them get all silly and go fast and back and forth. And just become familiar with, like, oh, when I move him towards the house, the graph does this. When I move him towards the tree, the graph does this. When he's stopping, the graph does this. So just pay attention to what the graph does as you move him. You can play him back, and you can basically records the motions of the moving man. And then you just click on clear, and you're back to the same graph again. All right, let me go back to this slide. And again, read those directions carefully. Like I said, you're going to mess around with them to become familiar with the simulation. And then you're going to answer questions about moving man and what you observe and what certain things mean. And then you're going to draw on these axes. And let me show you how to do that. There's instructions on the side. Here where it says, use the shape, line, or arrow tools to draw your answer. So it's this icon up here. It says line. Just click on it, and I can make a line like that. Like, oh, moving man went towards the house, and this is what it looked like. And then moving man went back towards the tree. So he went back down like this. And then moving man stopped. And then the line went like this. Okay, so that's how you're going to draw the graph. And then you're going to type in here and describe what happened. So I'm going to redo this so it goes away. And so you're going to do that on the first few slides. It tells you what to do. You draw what you see and describe it by typing into the box. And you're going to do that for a few of them. And then you're going to start making predictions. Like this first prediction says, what do you think will happen to the line if the man moves away from the house? So you draw on the graph, make your prediction, explain why you made the prediction, and then the next slide you test your prediction to see if you got it correct and describe what happened. And you're going to do that for a few of them. Then you have these graphs that are already made for you, and you're going to describe in the text boxes what moving man did. So like this first one, you'd say, moving man was standing still, he went towards the tree or the house, and then he stopped. Okay, that's what you'd describe here, and then describe how far he went in meters. Remember, the meters are down below. And then this is a story about moving man. You're going to predict, so it's a lot of movements, a lot of lines you're going to make on this prediction, and then you're going to test it and see if your prediction was correct. Here, here you're going to write your own story. You can type in your own story about what moving man did, make a prediction, and then actually play it out. You can, though, if you don't want to use the line tool, you can use a ruler and draw on paper, take a picture of it, upload it if you want. It would look something like this. So it's up to you if you want to draw with paper, pencil, ruler, or just use the line tool. Either way is fine with me. So you're going to do moving man. That's due at 3 today. You're going to come back for roll at 12:40. And the exit slip is also due at 3 o'clock. So if you have any more questions, your substitute will be here. Mr. Seville is next door. So the substitute can also ask Mr. Seville because his students are doing the exact same thing today. So Have a great day. Remember Wednesday, no meet, but a checkpoint, and then I will see you Thursday. Bye, guys.